Welcome to the channel. It's the Mind Reprogrammer. Today I want to speak about a topic, and it's one that surprisingly has made me feel a bit anxious maybe. And it's about this idea of God. What is God? And I don't know why I've got this weird feeling inside of me wanting to talk about this immaculate, this amazing, this everything to me. But at the same time, I find myself in a very weird headspace of, do I have the right to speak about something like that? But nevertheless, anyway, I'm still going to do it because, this is why we're here. We're here to speak about topics that may not necessarily make us feel comfortable, but allow us to know ourselves and grow. So obviously, as you guys know, if you've watched a few videos in the past, I grew up in a Christian house. I grew up in the church. And I grew up always knowing and believing that there was a God. And I grew up knowing that if I was to give my life to Christ or give my life to Jesus, then I would have invitation to know God, and going through Jesus was the way to God. And I believed this for a long time. But when I reached about the age of 16, 17, I began to come into my own awareness. And I began to realize that actually, maybe there's a whole lot more that I don't know. Maybe there's a whole lot more that I'm not aware of. And this is when led to me now beginning to go into this deeper discovery. And I'm going to talk about my own experiences with understanding what the Creator is. But first of all, I'm going to start with what the Creator isn't, or what God isn't. Because we have this idea of God being a man, this man in the cloud who sits down there and judges all day and does things when we're naughty or does things when we're wrong and we get punished for it. I'm sorry to let you know, that idea, goodbye, it's just not serving you. Let it go. But what I do want to talk about is this idea of God being vibration. You see, for a long time, when I first began to come into my own awareness, I began to realize that I could sense and I could feel energy. And I began to think, does everybody else feel this? And when I say energy, I'll give an example. So when I was young and I would go to church and people are singing and they're praising God, for instance, I would start to get goosebumps all over my body. And I would feel like, oh my God, what's this? And I took that to be something to do with God. I thought as far as you're praising Him or you keep your attention focused on Him, you can feel its presence. And even now you can hear me say it because I don't know if I want to use Him, because I know that God is not a Him. But when I go back to God, I began to study, began to learn, began to have experiences, began to try different things to try and conceptualize this idea. And I'm sorry to tell you, I still haven't been able to get a good understanding of what it is. Because you have to remember, if something created you, then whatever it is that has made you has the full understanding, and you as the byproduct of its creation is forever trying to understand it. So what I mean by that is, you might have a music teacher who was taught you how to play music. In the beginning stages of when you're learning to play music, your music teacher is everything. Your music teacher is your parent. Your music teacher knows everything you know. And if they've been doing it for loads of years, even though you can practice and try to be better than them, remember, if they are still practicing at that level at which they met you at, they may still be better than you. So at the same time, it's important to realize that the Creator who made you has ultimate knowledge, and you as the byproduct of His creation may not have all of His knowledge. So therefore, damn, you caught me there, I said His knowledge. But just for this video, just allow me to use the pronouns him and her, so you can just have a context. But yes, to understand what made her, you have to get into that understanding of how things work. But going back to what I'm saying about the Creator being vibration, you see, that really resonated with me when I first heard it. I first heard that if you look at God as a tone in the universe, playing a constant sound. So imagine right now as God is just a constant tone of ah, and all of us as His creation are different gradations of that sound. So ah, do you know what I mean? Beneath that ah, there's still a tone that's kind of the undercurrent of it. And that's how I began to get an understanding of, imagine if the Creator is just one tone that just continuously keeps playing in the whole entire universe. If that Creator is a tone, then that means that that Creator is also everything. So that means that God is me, God is you, God is the tree, God is the car, God is everything. And when I began to go even deeper into my realizations and my understanding, I thought, what is one constant thing that everything has in this universe, every being has? And it's an atom. And this is when, from my own understanding of the Creator, I began to see the Creator as just an atom. Because you can find an atom in every single thing that exists in this world. There is an atom because everything is energy. And if everything is energy, that means everything is vibrating. And if everything is vibrating at different oscillations or different wavelengths, then that makes me begin to understand that the Creator in and of itself is a tone, is a vibration. And those of us as his byproducts are all different gradations of the tone. And if you're with me, I hope you're with me when I'm saying this, because this is something that I've been trying to put down in words for a while to try and understand that what is God, what is the Creator, and how does the Creator function? Because these are important questions if we're going to begin to reprogram our mind. Because it's important to know that this idea of God being a man in a cloud, or just sitting down there, just judging you all the time, I'm sorry to tell you, it doesn't serve you. It just doesn't work. But then when we go deeper, a topic I always hear from people is, if there is a God, why would he do horrible things? Or why would he let people starve? Or why would he let people not eat? And that question has always bugged me for a long time as well. I was in a relationship at the time with my son's mum, and I would ask her if she believed in the Creator. And she would say, no, the Creator gave my mum cancer. Not her mum, her grandma cancer. And her heart just, that was her conceptualization. And for a long time, I held on to that because I really wanted to understand that if there is God, what is the darkness? And how I'm going to explain it, it might be a bit different, but stay with me. My understanding is that darkness is of the Creator, but it is unaware of it. So I'm going to say that again. Darkness is of it because it is everything, but it is not aware that it is of it. Therefore, it is in separation. It has split itself. But even though it cannot be split, it is of the understanding that it is. So let's go even on a higher level. You see, as human beings, we always attach meaning to everything. We do that all the time. As you're watching this video, you're going to be like, yep, I'm wearing a top, I've got lips, my hair is this, my eyes are that. But if we remove meaning from everything and we just allow things to be, and we don't put things in a box of good, evil, right or wrong, then technically speaking, situations that we've made wrong, are they in essence wrong? You see, I'm a big believer that as a human being, we all have a soul. And our soul chooses lessons to be able to grow, to be able to learn from. And sometimes, when we're in these lessons, those are the moments where we grow and we learn the most. And I feel that that's so important to say. So when things happen that are bad, that we would class as bad, or we lose someone that we love to a disease or an illness, how do we know on a higher level that their soul didn't choose that to be able to learn and grow from? You see, when I look at my life, when I look at the times that I've grown the most, it has been in the absolute most craziest situations. When I lost my friend to suicide and another one of my friends got stabbed, I remember how I felt inside. And I remember asking myself, bargaining, asking that question, is there a God? Is there a God? Because I was so broken. But when I went into that pain and I went deep into it and I went through the pain, I came out and I understand realizing that, of course there is a God. Because it is everything. And that's important to remember as well. Either God is everything or is nothing at all. You have to understand that. Because if it's made everything and you're part of it, then it's everything. And this is where it begins to get exciting, because that means that you can see God everywhere. The manifestation of the Creator is everywhere. Meaning that for you to begin to have a relationship with it, it's just for you to begin to acknowledge its presence in everything. Then we have this idea of fear, because fear is a massive thing. And that's a big thing for me as well. Is fear of God. Is fear God? And it goes back once again to what I said about darkness. Fear is of the Creator, because the Creator made everything. But fear is unaware of its presence to the Creator. This is why we find ourselves in a state of shock sometimes when we go into our ego and we begin to believe that we're separate from other people. You see, that's the problem. When we believe we're separate from other people, we close ourselves to that opportunity to know that person. But even on a deeper level, you close yourself on that opportunity to know the Creator. And that's the thing we need to begin to conceptualize and understand a bit more. That when you're in your ego and you're in that split personality where you put yourself in a hierarchy, I am better than you, or you hold this, or I'm this color and every color is beneath me, we lock ourselves up from that connection. Because to me, when I think about what is God, and I use that word, I see God, and my personal explanation is I see God as love. You see, love is such an interesting topic, and we're going to dive deeper into it in the next few videos. But I see the Creator as love. And when I say love, what I mean, I don't mean love in the sense of the emotion, but I mean love as a state of being. You see, I don't see the Creator as something that is physical or something that I can hold and touch, but I see it as a state of being, to be in love. You see, when you love someone so deeply, you see, that's the way the Creator loves you. You know, when you love someone that it hurts you to the point where you can't imagine your life without them, that's the same way the Creator loves you. You see, love is that only thing I would say that keeps everything going. You see, I've always seen love as the glue that holds this fabric of reality together. You see, there's so many different ways and so many ways that we try to understand this Creator. But it's important for me to tell you that the Creator is unknowable. Because even you, when you think about your own self, can you really know yourself completely? You see, what made you is of you. And because it's of you, that means that you have the capacity to begin to learn and understand how it works. But I want to share with you guys, as we come to the end of this video, my own individual experiences with the Creator. You see, I've been on my journey trying to understand this for about 6 or 7 years. I've been really dedicated to the path. And can I say hand on heart that I know the Creator? I can say that I have a relationship with the Creator. And I definitely honor and bring the Creator to my forefront of my mind every day. And how do I do that? Because that's an important question. If I'm going to talk about what it is, it's so important that I share how one can begin to develop a relationship with it. How did I develop a relationship with the Creator? I developed a relationship by beginning to meditate. You see, there's a good quote that says that when you pray, you ask. When you meditate, you receive. And when I began to meditate, all of a sudden, all of the ideas that I had about what it was began to fall away. It began to just suddenly just drop outside, and it began to just fragment into dust. It became nothing. You see, when I began to meditate and I really took this journey serious of trying to connect in a deeper way to the Creator, my whole entire life changed. My whole entire being changed. I suddenly changed from this person that was, you know, I grew up so connected to everything. I used to call myself God's child. You know, that was my tag name when I was young. And then I turned 16 and I was like, oh, I don't want to be that. Who the hell is God's child? That name is rubbish. And I find myself right back on another place where I can say, yeah, I am a child of God. You know, but not only am I a child, you are a child. You know, everybody's a child. You know, we're all a piece of that fragment. We're all part of it. We cannot remove ourselves from it. But like I'm saying, when I began to meditate in a deeper way, and I began to really do it every single day, all of a sudden, a flame in my heart began to become ignited. And I began to suddenly feel the presence of the Creator in my whole being. And I began to suddenly realize that actually, the Creator lives in one place in the human vessel, inside your heart. And this is why we always say, follow your heart. Your heart is the way to God. Your heart is the way to find a Creator. I agree with people. It is your heart. You see, if there's one thing I can say that God is that God is love. And when you begin to align yourself to this potential of love, and even on a deeper way, beginning to love everyone. And I know that might sound a bit crazy, a bit out of there. But when you can see the Creator in every single human being, When you look at somebody and your heart breaks open because you feel that love for them, the same love you feel for your child, the same love you feel for your parent, you feel for the stranger down the road, that's when you begin to have that interconnectedness that people speak about. When you can truly begin to move away from the separated idea that you are not of God or you are separate and you're all alone, you can begin to go deeper into this canal of deep love, into this pool of love. And I'm telling you, it exists, and God knows I try to enter that pool every day. You see, for a long time I've wondered, can I speak about this topic? Can I speak about the Creator? But how can I not speak about it? You see, it is everything. It is me and it is you. And for you to begin to develop a relationship with it, it's so important that you begin to connect to it in a deeper way. You see, if you got this far in the video, I would love to recommend you a book that really revolutionized my own understanding of God. And the book is called The Book of Love and Creation by Paul Selig. I'm going to put a link in it. You see, I don't really like to do recommendations for books because there's so many out there. But if there was one book that single-handedly gave me a deep experience of knowing what the Creator was and wasn't, it was that book. I'm going to put the link in the video down below, and I would love for you to have a look at it. Because once you can begin to get a deeper understanding of the Creator, but not only get a deeper understanding, but begin to have an experience of it. Because that's all I can give you. Like, everything I'm saying now is just theory. Unless you tune in deeper and feel the essence of what I'm saying. Because at times when I speak, I don't even know who the hell is speaking. But going back to the topic, the Book of Love and Creation, that book there really goes into deep detail about connecting, beginning to have an experience, beginning to know the Creator in a deeper way. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. Half the time I'm talking, I'm hoping I'm making sense. Leave a comment in the comment section if it made sense, and if this is helping out, do you know what I mean? It means a lot. And of course, subscribe to the channel. It helps so much. But apart from that, remember, you are a part of God. I am a part of God. Everybody's a part of God. Connect to that source, because when you connect to it, I promise you, the whole game changes. Have an amazing day.